turn the political poem up one more for this one. I kind of like, I've been turning all political in my poems lately. This one, so I used to teach high school in the East Bronx back in the day, and I remember that, and Air Jordans were relatively new, I'm dating myself, and the kids loved them, but if you stuffed somebody's Air Jordan, it was as though you had damaged their human character, who they are. And it occurred to me that we all kind of identify awfully closely with things. And you could extrapolate that all the way to, we identify so closely with these physical forms with our bodies. And I wondered at what point does identity really break down? And this was my poetic attempt to wrestle with that philosophical idea. It's called positive ID. We work a lot, but we're not our jobs. I'm not my friends, but sometimes I'd like to be. My sister's not her flying dreams, and she's not her crying dreams. I am not the height I am, but I am 5 feet 10 inches tall. Millions of Americans aren't their cars. You are not your money. I am not my lack of money. You aren't the sexual preference that you have and have and have. I'm not your sexual preference either, which is sad. We are not tacos. Imagine if we were tacos. We think we are the colors we are, but we're never the colors we are, no matter how blatant they are. It isn't time, but then it is time. Or perhaps it's always time. This land is not our land. We are not our bodies. I wonder what we are without our bodies. I am a musician, but I'm not the bossa nova. Are you sad? I'm sorry. Are you happy? This becomes you. All right, 3 more. I do about a half a dozen kinds of poems I've discovered. I love making a statement like this because it's the kind of thing that you retrospectively realize about yourself when you're putting together a reading. Little flash fictions that tell a story, the philosophical pieces, list poems. I like to play with sonnet form, but in prose. This is one example of what I think of as kind of music. It's more musical than sense-making, but it's also sense-making. And really the point of this poem was I really wanted to use the word sawn, which is the past tense of the verb to saw. Something that is sawed has been sawn. If you don't love the word sawn, we do not share this love, but anyhow, oh song. Okay, sleeping rearrangements. A bed without measure or edge, sheet wound thrice. The mind looses time from its spatial chart. Subconscious confidants relate no plot, no need. It all nights together, outer with inner, souls with senses, stars with stones, seen by no sun, no need. You're 1,000 stories up in sleep and wired weird but right. Though there's never any promise, you'll rewire plainer sight by morning light. Those are X's where the eyes. That's the human song of steady Z's. This poem began as a rewrite of the Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow soliloquy from Macbeth. And kind of modeling a poem on, actually I should say, I mean, since I have so many of my students here, and I teach my poetic technique class as a class of imitations. What we do is read canonical authors and try to write poems like them. So this was my, I took tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps and petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. We all know this, we could say it. And I had it and just kind of wrote directly over it and then kept working this poem away from that source. It's called Apocalypso. They said our world would end today, but then this morning I woke up with a lamp in my heart and an eye on my face. There is only you, glossy new moment, to shine. In our loneliness, we're in this together. Our world will end on such and such a day, but you also can't sleep, and we can't not sleep. We don't have sex, but we can't not have sex. Our lengthening race of races depends upon it. We can't not eat, forget that wanton murderousness of food. And some people don't even dance. Our world might end today, and I'm afraid that I have only been fully suited to the study of floated soap bubbles, lifted in the thermals of a kitchen wind I couldn't feel. Of course, my culture's air is conditioned. I've got a pet-shaped hole in my soul, wags of yearning. Our world will end someday, but all I do is play martini in the local symphony and relish the beat and gasp of language as it passes away. Sip and save the olive. We privileged here say words as though they were not terminal syllables. I am the in numb. Glossy new moment, I remember you. Let's reorient to the sound of what beckons in darkness. It's calling roll. If I ever answer, I shall answer at a pace I've learned from watching shade avoid the light. That tree shadow saunter, never slower nor faster. Branches extended in this glaring incandescence with strategic patience. Okie doke, last poem. This is my rewrite of Yeats's Sailing to Byzantium. That is no country for old men, the young in one another's arms is the first line, which I directly echo in my first line. And the poem is kind of about Byzantium, the city of art. This is my 21st century updated version of it has to be about the internet, of course. It's called We Believers. That's the shimmy hole for all, yet no one ever touches in it. I miss you, so I click through to the city of art. You're here with a million views and a pixel glistering that is meme rendering and trending. The collective we is trending, but our avatars have it, the most indominant you-know-whats. Half brick and mortar, half computer, I've become my mediated best. Pleased to meet your mediated best. We like each other, visit each other's personal sites. A platform rises and opens beyond privacy. To fill the unprotected cloud, I have catered my feed. You have catered your feed to taste and to tease. We attest to celebrities, superheroes, and goats. As life turns virtual and nothing hurts, our hearts might burst into something more than hearts. Thank you.
So please come out, same time, same place, and Colleen's going to leave